Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dmitriy Balkovskiy of the Reactionary Vlog, and this is the second video in the series of potential Boer settlers in Russia, and I'm introducing to you a gentleman by the name of Matthias Weigelt. He's a proper industrial South African farmer from KwaZulu Natal region. He enjoyed his visit to Moscow and Ivanovo very much, but he hasn't yet made up his mind about moving to Russia. He believes that there is a need for a strong business plan to accomplish this. So if you have any questions or proposals, write to me to db@goldenfront.ru. I have my email in the description. Thank you.
That is the one that put my grandfather into Siberian labor camp. This man up here.
No, not really. It wasn't him. It was Stalin.
Him, but he defeated the German army then in Berlin.
Yeah, this is the monument to Marshal Zhukov.
Field Marshal.
No, he was just Marshal.
Oh, Marshal.
And this is our dear guest, the dear guest of our capital, Matias. Matias Weigelt. Matthias Weigelt. So,
yeah.
A South African farmer of German descent, 100% South African, a hat of kangaroo skin. So here in the very middle of Moscow, it's very, very nice. And Mr. Weigelt is really enjoying the shopping mall in the very center of Moscow. It's next door to the Kremlin. It's really beautiful 19th century construction. So he doesn't believe that he is in Russia. He thought Russia is like a small dirty village with two bicycles or something. Right, and here we have a true South African farmer. Here he is, Senor Matthias Weigelt.
Senor.
Herr.
Herr.
Yeah. So we're looking at the village of Sabina, and all these lands that go straight down to the forest, they are all available for cattle farming, for pig farming. So
Crop farm.
So Matthias, could you please say a couple of words? What's your opinion of what you see?
What I'm seeing is a small village on top of a little ridge, and then in the distance you see a lot of open area, space. My big question first of all is, if we get heavy rains, is it going to flood there or not? One will have to look at that, but otherwise it's area to be developed.
Right.
It looks like it hasn't been used for many years.
So there is potential.
There should be good, big potentials.
Excellent, thanks. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dmitry Balkovskiy, and we have another interesting conversation about South Africa, South African affairs, and possibly South Africans in Russia. So with us today is Matthias Weigelt.
Correct.
Or, in plain English, Mr. Matthias Weigelt, which is probably more understandable for the majority of the viewers. Mr. Weigelt is a successful farmer from the KwaZulu Natal province. He's got a large farm, a piggery, fields of corn and maize, and a large family. Mr. Weigelt is an accomplished businessman, and he is with us in our Russian studio today in the great city of Moscow.
Thank you.
Matthias, please tell us about yourself a little.
Dimitri, thank you for being here so that I can explain myself and talk about myself. My name is Matthias Weigelt. I'm a farmer in the province of KwaZulu Natal. That's the eastern province of South Africa. Yeah, I have to mention I'm from South Africa, of course. I'm a farmer and a contractor. I provide a big service to many farmers in South Africa, Dimitri, where I hire out machinery. And then on the farming side, of course, we produce a lot of different crops, cattle, timber, and cash crops like maize and soya beans. And I'm involved also in a big piggery where a couple of us trustees are involved in, and we run it quite successfully.
Matthias, please tell us about the situation in South Africa.
Dimitri, yeah, that's a big question which one cannot answer in one short sentence. From the farming aspect side of my profession, there's a difficult situation. We farmers every day live in, I wouldn't call it fear, But we have to be cautious because there's so many farm attacks, violent farm attacks as well. Call it very bad consequences. I wouldn't use any other terms at this stage. We farm generally in a very good farming area. Most farmers in South Africa are very successful. They're big commercial farmers. They employ a lot of workers, especially from the African population. They're good towards their workers and so forth. The problem comes in with the politics in our country, where farmers that have legally bought their land, might it be 3, 4 or even 6, 7 generations back, get told now your land will be taken, and in most cases without compensation. Reason being that we, let's put it that way, we settlers that came to South Africa many centuries back, I think 1652, the first settlers from Europe came to South Africa in the Cape. They moved up through the country eventually. That they get told, you took the land away. That is a debatable question, but that's not why I'm here today to debate it. In our area where we are, KwaZulu Natal, Midlands, Hemmensburg area, missionaries came out there. In those days there was nothing, no shops, no infrastructure, absolutely nothing. It was rolling grasslands with thorn bush. And the missionaries that came from northern Germany, they brought with the blacksmith, the farmer, whatever they needed. And it took them many months first to establish themselves. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. One must actually see it as a barren place. And it took them 3-4 days on horseback down into the valleys and going up towards northern Natal, KwaZulu Natal, right, to find the first indigenous people that were living there, so that they could do their missionary work. That's the reason why they came there.
And Matthias, what are your plans for the future? Are they in any way connected with Russia? And if you all of a sudden do decide to come to Russia, what would your plan be?
Yeah, Dimitri, as it is in life, wherever you are in the world, if you're a businessman, a farmer is a businessman. We don't need to forget that we are a specialized farming community. In Afrikaans sê ons is boere. And the word boer of boere, the plural, means farmers, people connected with the earth. Important, I'd like to mention that here, important to realize that a farmer, he is actually the custodian of his land. What I mean by that, we work with a living organism. Soil is a living organism. It's not just something that is dead like a desert. No, it's a living organism. In Russia, I think because we are South Africans, we are part of the BRICS bloc. BRICS bloc is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Those 5 very strong superpowers, especially China and Russia and India, and South Africa being the most industrialized country, is part of it. I think the opportunities is, and I would strongly recommend that, very strongly recommend, to open up businesses, be it in farming, whatever, in Russia, so that we have another leg to stand up. If the situation in South Africa does not get better, if we farmers are being actually persecuted there and chased off the land, or our families are being threatened, I wouldn't say on a daily basis, but on a basis where it is not sustainable to keep your family there, we have to have another business plan. And I think Russia is a great idea. It's a vast country with very many opportunities. Of course, it's important, number one, put a business plan forward before. One can't leave as a refugee. Myself and many families will never be refugees, will be businessmen. So a business plan is number one that has to be put forward. The correct channels have to be used. We can't just jump up, come to this country. No, correct channels through the correct embassies that will help us. Our embassies in Russia, approach them, put our business plans down, even if we can already take up also the opportunity with businessmen in Russia, and put it forward. And they in turn can help us, and I would like them that they help us to put it forward to the different regions. For example, the region around Moscow, or where we were, Ivanovo, the regional governor there, to look at it and help us in that sense, so that we can start something that is profitable for also the future generation. Dimitri, as I was saying earlier, it's very important that one follows the correct channels. Mainly, I would say, through public relations. One has to have contact. contacts, governmental contacts here in Russia, businessmen. Something that's very important to realize as well is with education for our children. In my case, the children are grown up, our children, but their grandchildren. Because education is another big problem in South Africa. The systems that we're used to, I must be quite honest about it, have changed so as to accommodate everyone. I feel they're not up to standards of Russian, even I would say European standards, where a child learns from very early on to think for itself. So that is very important as well. We mustn't forget, we are not refugees. We will not run and pick up just a bag and go. It has to be implemented, everything properly. It must have hands and feet. From there forth, I think we can create big and good partnerships with our new hosts or our host country, call it Russia. Also to keep the channel towards our homeland South Africa open, because not everyone will make this move or will have the courage to do it. But if the situation arises, I would really very much would like Russia to give us that opportunity that we can prove ourselves what good farmers, good businessmen we are in South Africa. We are of the top in the world. I know that a lot of South Africans have gone to other countries. Just to name one would be North America, Canada.
Australia, probably.
Yeah, Australia as well. But North America, Canada, the average age of a farmer, a Canadian farmer, is 69 plus years old, according to their information. And they love South African farmers because they are hardworking. They don't run away from a situation. They make it work, and that is important. And as I said, I'm looking forward to our Russian counterparts in agriculture and businesses to make us, with them, great partners in businesses there.
Matthias, we visited the central Russian region of Ivanovo. It's kind of a Russian heartland, villages and the city of Ivanovo and the grand city of Moscow, the capital of the Russian Empire. Oh, Russian Federation, sorry. So what are your impressions? Please tell us.
All right, Dimitri, let me put it that way. Thank you again for being able to have been taken up very hospitable here in Russia. Especially, I have to mention that, in the little town of Krasne. There was a lovely, lovely Russian lady that looked after me, and really I was very impressed how hospitable the people are. We looked at farmland around Ivanovo. And thank you for helping there. My Russian is a bit weak, or very weak.
A chance to work out.
Of course, we'll have to learn that language. We looked at agricultural land. We looked at villages. I was a bit shocked about the state of a lot of those villages. It looks like the young people have left. They must have moved off to the cities, studied, and so forth. Dimitri, yeah, there could be an opportunity to do something with it. The land looks not bad. Unfortunately, you have a very hot summer at the moment there. And I think for communities, for farmers that want to start on a second leg in Russia, I hope that the Russian government or the regional government can assist, and then we can plow back into the community and work, interact. It's very important if one comes to a country. There's an English saying that says, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Now, don't ask me what the Romans do, but what I mean by that is to learn the language, interact with the people. Very important as well as far as I'm concerned, is our religion. A lot of the farmers in South Africa and people are neither Reformed, neither Dutch or Lutheran, and other, of course, denominations, that we can also have our religion here. As far as that is concerned, there's huge opportunities. There's huge tracts of land that are available that are actually lying dormant, which is good. The Bible says you plant 1 year and 7 years you leave it fallow. It looks like the Russians have been doing that in their communities. Now, there's a lot of land that can be utilized to the benefit of the whole region, not only the smaller villages and towns, but the region itself. I still had to find some good South African boerewurst and big steak, which I haven't found. South African meat is known to be the tops in the world, make no mistake. It's as they call it in Afghan, schaapvlees, sheep, mutton, beef, pork. The South African farmer knows how to produce quality meat. And as far as concerned the city of Moscow, I think the meaning of that is a city of light, if I'm correct.
Sort of light, yes.
Sort of,
Let us put it this way, yes.
Yeah, well, I can only say at night it's just light. It looks beautiful. People friendly, a lot of different cultures, and they all seem to mingle with one another, do the daily chores, the daily work that the people do. There's no noise, well, the normal noise of a city that you find, but people are friendly. Wherever you come, they're respectful, they step aside. I've been on these tube trains, and you go down, just for our viewers, long escalators. I think they're 300 meters long, as it is as we go down to the heart of the earth. People are all standing quietly, they make space for one another, very respectful. That is something that I really enjoy about the Russian people and the visitors that come to Russia. Dimitri, it was an honor to have met you, and in future I hope that we're going to have a lot of contact with one another, and it was a pleasure to have visited the country called Russia. My impressions and the impressions I had was mixed feelings, but I was totally overwhelmed how open-heartedly, open-armed I've been welcomed here in Russia. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, sir, for your visit. And yes, we do hope to see you many more times here. You and your wonderful family. You have a large family, yes, and we welcome them all here in our capital and
yes.
in the whole country of Russia.
No, it has been a pleasure, and I thank you very much for everything that you've shown me. I mean, I had the opportunity, I must mention here, to be at the Red Square, the Kremlin. It's just amazing. I can't put it in words. One can actually only take pictures and show it to everyone. It's amazing. Yeah, I must say that architecture that the Russians have built over the centuries is of top shelving, if I can put it. You know, it's unique.
Thank you
very much, Dimitri.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.